Sorry I'm not there today. My daughter woke up with a stiff neck, which is kind of disappointing because I had lots of stuff planned for today. So, we're just going to go through this lesson on video instead of me being there. So, the first thing I want you to do is you're going to need your notes of future self. So, get that out so you have your formula sheet. And I'll give you a minute to find that. And as you're getting that ready, let's start here. So we're going to jump over this page to make it a little more efficient with me not being there. But for right now, what I want you to do is I want you to find the volume of this and this. And we're going to say that this is 10 width, 10 length, and 10 height. And we're going to use this is 10, 10. That's a 10. And the volume, the height's also going to be 10. Okay? So the formula here, if you haven't got your notes out, it's length times width times height. Okay? The volume of this one is going to be length, width, height divided by 3. That's a nice 3 there. So I'm going to give you a moment to work both these out. And then what I want you to do is figure out, it's kind of obvious what the formula is, about what the comparison is here between these two. Okay, so pause the video and figure that question out. Okay, so if you're back from the pause video, let's figure this out. So our volume is going to equal 10 times 10 times 10. So volume is going to be 1,000 there. On this side, it's going to be 10 times 10 times 10 divided by 3, which equals 333. So if you take a peek here, 1,000 here, 333. And obviously, the volume of this pyramid is 1/3 the volume of this cube. So if I were to ask you a question like, okay, if this cube has a volume of 300, what's the volume of this pyramid going to be? And it should be 100. Because you just take this number here and divide it by 3 to get this number. Okay? So the big thing here with pyramids and cones, you're looking at something that is 1/3 the size. As long as the measurements are all the same, that's the important thing. Measurements are all the same, you're looking at 1/3 the size. Okay? Cylinders like, now if you want to fill this in, we're going to skip over this. So we already did a calculation up there. So this would be like, I think the pyramid is like a cube. So this is like cylinder is like a cube, so the cone is like a pyramid. Right? So the volume formula for this, volume formula for that is pi, which I can't write pi, so I'm going to go 3.14 times radius squared times height. Right? So if you remember, any volume is the area of the base, so pi r squared is the circle there, times the height. Then over here, what's the formula going to be? I'll let you think about it there for a second. What do you think the formula is going to be? And it's going to be the exact same, but at the end you're going to divide it by 3. Okay? So for example, let's do another one of these. Let's say this is 900 milliliters, or whatever you want to say, for the volume. What's this one going to be? And hopefully he said 300 mils. So, let's calculate the volume of this. Now when you see this line all the way across, that means this measurement here is going to be the diameter. So we're going to use this formula here. Let's plug in our numbers. So we're still going to use 3.14 times, what's our radius then? If this is 4.4, our radius is going to be 2.2. And I'm going to do this, just so it works on here. They're going to times this by the height, which is 6.2, then divide it by 3. And on here, those little stars just mean multiply, and that means divide. Okay, and once we get all that plugged in, it'll punch out an answer as such. Now, if I want to reduce it to there, and our volume is in cubic, so we're going to go to the power of 3. Just as if our area we worked on the other day was squared, we're now going to cube it. So pretty simple for pyramids and volume of pyramids. It's the exact same formula, just divided by 3. So if we ever give you, and this would be a great test question, something like, here's the volume of this, what's the volume of this? You just take this volume and divide it by 3. Okay? So the next page here, we're kind of jumping back to Pythagorean theorem. Okay? So, if you remember, volume equals area of the base multiplied by the height. Okay? And this plays in this one here. Okay? So if we were to list out what we have here, in this case, it would be length, although if you flip this on, so this was the bottom, this is the area of the base, this would be the height. So you can kind of see it a little differently. So in this case, if we list what we have the base, which equals 20. We have the height, which equals 30. Sorry, the length, in this case, length equals 30. And our formula for this is volume equals, now we have a triangle as our base, so it's base times height divided by 3 times the length. Now for this one here, we don't have the height yet. We don't have this measurement right here. Let me redo that in a different color. We don't have this measurement right here, so we need to find it. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to make a triangle like this, so we can find our height. If I redraw my triangle over here, okay, this length here is the same as this one, so that's going to be 20. This length here is half of that one, so it's going to be 10. So we're going to be trying this side here. I'm just going to label it A. Right? Because we have a right angle triangle, so my formula, since we're finding a leg, we are going to minus, oops, that would be B squared, with this being our C, and this one here being our B. Right? So, oops. So I'm going to plug it in using my, so we have C squared, so we have 20 times 20 minus, I'm going to put brackets around it because I have to do it all together, 10 times 10. Is that going to give me my answer? 300. Now we have A squared equals 300. Now it's not 300. It doesn't make sense that that's 300, but we're going to take the square root of that number. Okay? Now let's try a little trick here. See if it works. Square root of 300. Oh, where's my... You used to have that trick down. Okay, square root of 300 equals... I got my calculator here for a second. Square root of 300 equals 17.3. Okay? I already did that. 17.3 as my answer. Now if I go back here, I can plug in my height to equal 17.3. Then let's plug everything into our equation. So we're going to go base 20 times 17.3 divided by 2 times my length is 30. And that's going to equal, and we have to make sure we add on our units here. To the power of 3. And there's our answer there. Right? Now, let's take a look at this one here. First thing you need to do is figure out what formula you need. Okay? So I know it's a pyramid. Okay? So I'm going to go with volume equals length times width times height divided by 3. Okay? I always like to write what I know. So in this case, I'm going to go up here. And I know my length equals 8. My width equals 8. My height, I don't know my height yet. Right? Because this here 7 is the slant. So I need to find that height. Let's get our pen out again and we'll make a triangle. So we're going to redraw this triangle down here. So it looks like something like this. That's a beautiful triangle. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Right? Now my slant is 7. Now what's my bottom of my triangle here? It's half of 8. I should have drew it that way. It's half of 8, so that's going to be 4. So my formula, since I'm trying to find a leg, I'm just going to label that one A. We're going to go A squared equals C squared minus B squared. Because we have the hypotenuse, remember the hypotenuse is across, right? We're going to minus it. Well, it's going to be 7 squared minus 4 squared, which equals 49 minus 16, which equals 33. A squared. Then it's not going to be 33, you need to take the square root of both sides. Square root of A squared is A. Square root of 33 is going to be 5 point something. 5.7. 5.7. Okay. So then we can go up here and say, okay, that's 5.7. And we go back here and plug everything in. So it's 8 times 8 times 5.7 divided by 3, because it's a pyramid, and boom. There's our answer. Make sure we put our units on it. Good. Now, I'm going to give you a minute to figure this one out. So pause the video, and we will see if you can figure out what that is there. Okay? So we're back here. So let's write, very first thing I always write down is my formula. So formula for a cone is area of the base, so it's pi r squared. R squared times the height. So we have our radius is 6. So we go radius equals 6. Our height is unknown. 11 is the slant, but we don't know the height. So let's find the height. Let's make a triangle. Make that thing a little bit smaller this time. There's our triangle there. 6, 11. trying to find a leg, so I'm just going to label it A, you can make it B if you want. C squared minus B squared, which equals 11 squared minus 6 squared, 121 minus 36. I can't do that in my head right now. 1 minus 36 equals 85. And then square root of 85, 9.2. I'm going to take square root, A equals 9.2. So that is our height. Oh, what did I forget in my formula? I forgot divided by 3 because we have a cone. So now let's plug everything in. That's 3.14 times, what's our radius? 6 times 6 times our height, which is 9.2, and then we're going to divide it by 3. Oh, what happened? Oh, I got 2 equal signs. I broke my own first rule. 3 equals, oh boy. Now it's all mad at me. Let's erase it all. And press equals. Alright, I'll do it on my calculator. Now, if you're not getting the same answer as me exactly, it's because you might be using 3.3 instead of... Oh, I see what's wrong. There we go. Might be using 3.3 instead of... I just rounded that wrong, didn't I? This one's going to give me 0.7. You may be using 3.14 instead of the pi button. So if you use the pi button, it's going to be more accurate. But if you use 3.14, you might be a little off, but you're going to get the same general answer. So I'm going to, you'll be marked correct. So don't worry if your question's a little bit off. Like for example, if I did this with my pi button, oops, 9.2, I get 46.8. So just be a little bit off, but you have a range there. So last but not least, we are going to do a sphere. Now, 4 times pi times r cubed divided by 3. Now r cubed is going to be, there's going to be a button on your calculator, either has a 3 up top, like x. It would look like this. So your button on your calculator might look like this. Or it might look like this. Or it might look like this. In that case, like for this example, you write 15. And if you press that button, you're done. If you press this button or that button, that's a horrible arrow. You have to write the 3 in and then press the equal sign. So you have to press those 2 buttons before starting. Right? So, this one's pretty simple. We're just going to go 4 times pi, which is 3.14, times 15 3 times. 1, 2, oops, 3. And there's our answer. Centimeters, and that's going to be cubed as well. And that is our questions for today done. Can I erase that? Your questions to do, so this here we don't do. Don't worry about this. That's our notes literacy stuff. So your questions to do are going to be the following. You have this handout right here to do. Okay? So you have that handout to do, and you have these questions here to do. So you have lots to do for the remainder of class. I will see you tomorrow for the rest of this week, and write this down right here. Wednesday is going to be test review, and review of test 1. Thursday, we're going to have our test on volume, surface area. Okay? Then on Friday, for some individuals, you'll have a chance to upgrade test 1. So on Thursday night, you have a chance to study for Friday's test. Or if you're fine with the mark on that day, fine with your mark for test 1, we're going to have an alternative assignment to boost up or kind of reinforce your learning for another course, but another topic. Okay, so that's your schedule for the rest of the week. So those people who didn't write test 1, this is when you're going to write it. Okay, who didn't write the first one. We're going to have this one here going on Thursday, and then back to back. Okay, so hopefully have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.